Well, we're into the final knockings of the season now. The league split has officially happened. We have played one game in it already. And today is somewhat of a litmus test for us because I said in the last episode we were aiming for Europe. But how it's turned out so far, I think we now have to aim for the league title. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legend, episode 12 with Swansea University. My name is Craig, and come up in today's episode we have two huge games in the race for the championship, away at Flint Town and home against TNS, the ever-chasing TNS who just won't leave us alone at the top of the table. Now, since you were last with me, like I said, the league split has happened and we've kept up some very good form going into it, including a 2-0 win against Ballard Town in the last match, which was the first match of the league split. So we've got 9 games left to go, plus a Welsh Cup quarter-final. And the situation is thus. We are top of the league after 23 games, 65 points, 8 ahead of TNS, who we will play today. And we're actually about 24 ahead of Flint Town. Flint Town were a lot closer to us, but they've dropped off in the last 4 or 5 games, which I think includes a defeat against us not long ago. Am I thinking right? Okay, like a month and a half ago we beat them, and since then they kind of fell off, which we would like that to continue. So we want 2 victories today. That's what we're aiming for, because if we do so, the title is within our grasp, and then we could just wrap up the the season in the next episode when hopefully we secure our first Welsh League title. In addition, before we get into the matches, the transfer window has officially closed. Why is it showing nobody's actually come in? Okay, there we go. So there has been transfers in and out of the club. In fact, you know what? While we were on that screen, I could just show that we have cleared out the squad a little bit. Before the last episode, I actually didn't show Edon Pruti had been released. He was someone who I brought in as a centre-back in the summer. He did not play for us at all, except maybe a cup match. Yeah, 1 cup match. Didn't really impress. Actually, well, he did well, but it was against a low-league team. But he got a whinge on about not being in the starting lineup more often, so I just said goodbye. He's now gone back to Bosnia-Herzegovina and playing for Vadnik, so good luck to him there. In addition, we've also released Michael Adu, Benjamin Heel and Elliot Jones. Adu and Heel were both getting a whinge on as well about not playing as much as before, so just said bye after giving Adu a chance to impress, and he just didn't. Heel, I just sent him away because I know him and Adu are good friends from the old West Ham Academy, I think. Yeah, West Ham Academy, they were both in together. They can go and whinge elsewhere. Elliot Jones, he wasn't actually unhappy, but I just knew he wasn't playing any games for us, so I thought just let him go. We should have enough left backs for the rest of the season. Famous last words. And in addition to that, Travis Gregory has also walked out on us. He's gone to fellow Premier League side Penabont. And then we played Penabont in the very next game and we beat them. So, good luck, I guess, Travis Gregory. I mean, you served us well while you were here, but yeah, he wasn't playing as much. Even though he was putting in decent performances, he just wasn't playing as much. We've got a couple of youth players as well out at our affiliate, Mumbles, who is a new affiliates team of ours since the summer. I never mentioned that actually. But yeah, you'll probably never see him again anyway. And we did bring in 3 players who have been registered in January as well. Josh Yorworth, I went through him in the last episode. We already know of him. 28-year-old former Welsh under-21 international. He's started playing a couple of games now that he's registered. He's just building up the match fitness. He'll be fine. He's a squad player, so he'll be behind Nico Jones and Sonny Algefree and competing with Michael Collins for a spot in the starting 11 or even on the bench. Taylor Perry is another player we've brought in, a very good central midfielder, 22 years old, 4.5-star current ability, pretty much, well, 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, but he's already been improving his technical ability, which is pretty good. In fact, not more than pretty good, it's pretty excellent for this level. He's played at League 1 level for Cheltenham as well, so he's used to a level higher than the one he's currently playing at. And we also brought in Scott Smith as a backup player in central midfield as well. That's because Luke Chambers is another central midfielder of ours. I wasn't sure if he'd leave before the deadline actually hit. He didn't. So Scott Smith and Luke Chambers will be competing with each other. I like how Scott Smith thrives on playing in big matches. For anyone who's actually watched the FM22 Unemployed to Legend series, you might recognise Scott Smith from Curzon Ashton, which was the first club in that series. He was very good at League 2 and National League level, which are higher levels than the Welsh Premier League. So he's hoping that's a good indicator. His ability at this level should be more than enough. Right, we are going to get into the first match away at Flint Town. And this is going to be the starting 11. Adegoke in goal, a back four Shan, Jones, Yulworth and Pilkington, with Perry, Reynolds and Hull in the midfield, Harkin on the left wing, Shirley and Brown Sterling are the two men up front. There is going to be some rotation between these two matches because they're fairly close to each other. About 4 days within each other. We've also just played Bala Town at the weekend as well. This is a Wednesday night fixture. So rotation is going to be needed just to make sure that the squad isn't too shattered going into the rest of the season. There are 9 games left. But the fact that we've now whittled this squad down from, I think, 28, 29 players down to about 25, which is a very, very good thing to do. It will hopefully keep the match fitness up and ensure players get enough match time that they don't come to me saying, oh, we're sad at not having any game time or that we're not starting enough matches. Because I'm getting sick of that since October. It's just been flooding in. So what I need to do in the summer is make sure that I'm not over-promising a lot of players. A lot of game time, like important player, star player. We've got far too many in the squad there. There is Harkin and a great header, but the referee is just sliding over to the middle of the pitch and it is offside, unfortunately. Nice cross hit by Pilkington. In fact, 2 of them were offside. We couldn't actually see Harkin. It's a poor camera angle there. But just a small early indicator of what Swansea Uni is capable of. And we go again down this right-hand side. Reynolds back in the starting lineup. He's one player who is a star player, but he's not played the last couple of games, so he's probably going to whinge sooner rather than later. So let's just give him the match time that he seeks. God, I thought that they got through our defence with that one. Brown Sterling actually wins the header for once. He's not the strongest player in the squad. And there is Shirley through, and Shirley misses. Can he score more often, please? I do like him, but there's a good reason why he doesn't start all the time now. And this is what happens when you don't take your chances. You just have the likes of Flint Town who will just take advantage with one chance like that. I do like our attack, but our defence is still very, very suspect. I think we've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 7 league matches. It's not quite what I'm looking for from a team that is challenging for the title. At the moment, TNS are drawing. They're playing third place Penabont as it stands. But we want to keep Penabont and Flint Town as far away from us as possible. And then we'll try and keep TNS as far away from us as possible. There is Harkin. And Harkin doesn't finish his chance, unfortunately. We are getting the chances, but yet again, we're just not putting them away with regularity. We do have Omelabu on the bench, who is in form, but Shirley wants more game time, and he's not actually happy at the moment, is he? I don't know why he's not happy. Hands, point the finger, show a bit of desire, lads, because I don't know what it is. We can score, but it takes us about 7-8 chances to actually put one in the back of the net. So I'll tell you what, Omelabu is going to come on. Shirley's going to make way. Shirley's not happy, as I mentioned. I don't know why. But if it's because he's not getting enough game time, well, perform and you will get game time. Right, chance for a counter-attack here. Pilkington with the ball down the right-hand side. Where is Hull? There's Brown Sterling. There is Omelabu. And Omelabu has stuck it in the back of the net. 90 seconds is all it took for him to score. I don't know where Hull was. Doesn't matter. Brown Sterling and Omelabu link up so well up front. I think we might have found a new front too. Reece Shirley, you might have to become a bit part player if you're not going to score with regularity, because Omelabu just had 1 shot, 1 goal. I really hope Shirley is just sitting behind me on the bench. Not just with a sad look on his face, but a look of, oh, that's what I have to do then. I need to be scoring more often. I think he's got like 8-9 goals this season. Omelabu has about 17. Big difference. Hull with the ball down the right-hand side. He's going to be the main starter on the right for a while. And there is... Oh, Brown Sterling hits the bar. Hull is going to be the main starter, at least for a while, because Mulvaney is injured for 3 to 4 weeks. And Mulvaney was one of those players who came to me whinging about not starting enough games. Well, that has not quite worked out for him. Obviously, though, it means the promise that I've made to him, hopefully, will now be extended. Because how is he going to get a whinge on when he's injured? He can't play. But it also allows Hull to get some more game time in him, which will be good for him because he has been very impressive this season. I do like him. Except for there. Oh my God, Pilkington, what the heck? What was that? Why did you run away from the ball? I don't understand the match engine. Oh God, that was a good save, but I had to go okay. Well, I don't understand why the match engine makes players do stuff like that. You would not run away from the ball, you would run onto the ball. The match engine FM23 hurts my head sometimes. Good clearance by Yorworth, but not that far. Cleared is Harkin, who is on a yellow card at the moment. Perry, bringing the ball forward. Let's see some of that technical ability. Good enough. There is Pilkington actually running onto the ball, and then the highlight just ends. I don't know. Pilkington has kind of got worse as the season goes on, which is kind of ironic. He is an important player for us by squad status. There is Hull, and Hull has slotted the ball in the back of the net. Only his 4th goal of the season, but that's what happens when you keep swapping starting places with Mulvaney. But if he gets more game time, hopefully it will result in more goals and more assists from him. And it's an assist for Yorworth as well. Yorworth showing his worth in the starting 11 right now. That's excellent stuff. Good turnaround from the boys. It's 2-1. We are coming up on potentially making more substitutions. In fact, it's 74 minutes. There are a couple of more tired legs out there. Reynolds is one of them, so Chambers is going to come on. He better not be angry about not getting enough game time. I'm giving him not a start. I'm giving him game time from the bench. Farr is not going to come on. Actually, you know what? Screw it. He's coming on for Pilkington. I'm not impressed with Pilkington massively at the moment. Like I said, he's got worse as the season goes on. It might be a case I might have to get another right back in the summer. Unless Sir Dodds gets a bit more game time. Adegoke coming out and claiming, I would have been sad had he not caught that. There is Brown Sterling, who unfortunately couldn't get to it. Come on, someone press the keeper. No, not happening. Well won there by Al-Jafri. Perry. Omilabu, play it out. That's it. Harkin. Come on, Harkin, you've got the pace. There is Perry. Play it into the middle, son. There you go. And Brown Sterling, 18th goal of the season. It seems like a low return, but the goals have been shared around between all of our strikers and wingers this season. So I'm more than happy with that return. Harkin and Perry linking up very well there. And Perry is on a support duty for central midfielder, but he does get forward very, very frequently. It's good, but also help out defensively as well, right? A little bit more, especially as we struggle to keep clean sheets very, very often. Well, we are into the 90th minute, just going to do a bit of game management, as you do, while staying on positive. I don't know why I stay on positive mentality, but it seems to work most of the time, and has worked to give us a 3-1 comeback victory. Well done. And I think that's secured us top 3. Done brilliantly to come back. Yes, you have. I think that might have secured us top 3. We've got 8 games to go, so that's 24 points up for grabs. So 44 secured us top 3. Excellent. That should have secured us European football for next season, which would be fantastic. Let's just check the rules on that. Oops, I know we're in the Championship group, but we can't actually see. So, 3rd place, Europa Conference League final. What's the info? Depending on winner of the JD Welsh Cup. Ah, okay. On the plus side, though, we get 10k in prize money minimum. But it would depend on who wins the Welsh Cup, which we're still in, by the way. We've got that coming up. So I'm not going to show the Welsh Cup anyway, unless we reach the final again. But the next game coming up is another proper litmus test match. It is home against TNS, the team chasing us down in 2nd place. Actually, did they draw? They drew against Penabont. That's excellent. A win for us. 13 points clear with 7 games to go. Puts us 1 step closer to the title. Second match now against TNS, and there have been a few changes to the starting 11 because of tiredness. We only played Flint Town, I think, about 4 days before this, and we got another game in 5 days after this, so squad rotation is now going to be very, very important, as mentioned before. Defence-wise, Edmondson is in for Casey Shan, and Aljaffrey is in for... what's his name again? Yorworth. I'll get used to his name eventually. Fuster, Chambers and Farr will be the midfield three in place of Perry, Reynolds and Hull. Hull is on the bench, and Perry as well is on the bench. I think Reynolds is absolutely knackered. He needs a break for this one. Harkin stays in at left wing, and then Omilabu will be going alongside Brown Sterling after their showing in the second half of the last match against Flint Town. I mean, why would you not start them? If Omilabu can score a few goals, bag a few for us against TNS, I will be very, very happy. Hopefully, come full time. Make it count, boys. Come on. I should have left it when... oh, there we go. Seems pleased. Looked happy. I find if it's dark green on certain players, I try and leave it there if possible, so I just don't touch anything else. I did that time. I don't know why. Probably because I was talking too much instead of focusing on what was going on. Right, Pilkington, who keeps his place after the last match. Edmondson... oh, I thought it was Edmondson who scored. Nope, Brown Sterling gets the last touch. I don't know what happened there, if the keeper saved it and Brown Sterling managed to get on the end of it. Let's have a look from this angle. So Farr places it into Edmondson. First time shot, and Brown Sterling heads it in. Was that on purpose, or did Brown Sterling just not know anything about that? Regardless, it's 1-0, a nice early goal, hopefully to settle us down. And yet again, Brown Sterling on the score sheet. I do love Brown Sterling, and I kind of hope he sticks around for our upcoming European adventure. Penobont played the previous day, and they did win, but I think they can only catch us and possibly beat us by goal difference. So in that case, we've effectively sealed top 2 for next season, which means guaranteed Europe in that case, which means we wouldn't have to rely on who wins the Welsh Cup. Hopefully it will be us though. Right, good first half. Keep it up for the second half. 1-0 going into the second half. And thankfully, apart from that highlight, nothing actually happened that first half, which is excellent news, although TNS now have a corner. And Jones, the big, lanky centre-back, manages to get it out, and yet again heads it clear to Harkin, makes a run down the left-hand side. He's got options ahead of him, and he plays it back. Okay, fair enough. I thought he'd be playing it forward instead. There he goes again. We reset. Makes a run down the left, plays it into the middle, and Brown Sterling couldn't get on the end of that. We go again. There is Brown Sterling, and that is a poor goalkeeping display right there by Ratcliffe. And Brown Sterling has his second goal of the game, our second of the game. 2-0 up after 50 minutes. Let's bag those 3 points. Let's get ourselves even closer to the title. We can't seal the title here, but a win against TNS all but seals it overall. And that just means hopefully we'll come back for the next episode where we can seal the title and finish off the season, Welsh Cup notwithstanding, and begin the process of getting players in for a European adventure. Remember, first place, winning the title, means you go into the Champions League first qualifying round, which would be a fantastic achievement for an amateur side. I don't know what's going to happen regarding the status of the club. Do we become semi-professional at that point? Do we become semi-professional if we just go into Europe full stop? Waxing lyrical about some of these players. What an interception by Jones. I love that man. Great header down by Brown Sterling. Play it through Harkin. He's not very good at that, is he? He has found Brown Sterling in the end. We've got Omilabu in the box, but I think he is offside. No, referee's backtracking. So Omilabu bags his third. I think that's his second or third goal in 2 games. I've only literally just recorded the first match, and I actually can't remember. In off the post, Omilabu and Brown Sterling yet again. 3 goals between them in this match. TNS hate playing these guys. They absolutely hate playing them. It is 76 minutes and I've not even made a substitution. What is going on? Nico Jones is going to come off. I know he's had a very good game, but he is tired. He's played both games. Michael Collins is going to come in. And let's have a look at this. Ethan Hull is going to come on. He's going to swap with Charlie Farr. Charlie Farr can go back to right back. And I'm thinking a Foka in on the left-hand side. If TNS are tired, a Foca's pace is going to make them have an absolute mare at left back. Left back? Sorry, right back. I can't remember what position of the pitch. Foca is left wing, so it would be their right back who would have a nightmare. And speaking of nightmare, we can't keep clean sheets. 3 clean sheets in 9 league games now. It's not great, is it? For a team who are looking like champions elect and we can't keep a clean sheet. There is a Foca down the left-hand side. So they can't deal with his pace. Oh, no one was in the area. Oh, it was such a good run. And it was a very good cross by a Foca. But the problem is, there's a highlight here, so we're not going to make another substitution. But nobody was in the box because I think Brown Sterling is shattered. Amalabu is probably shattered as well. That was a poor ball all forward. And that is going... thankfully, that was over. What we are going to do, we are going to start wasting some time down. And we are going to make another couple of substitutions, actually. Taylor Perry. He's going to come on for Fuster. And Reece Shirley can come on for Omilabu. Just give them a few minutes. We're not going to risk Robin Dodds in this match. We're just going to try and slow things down here. And pick ourselves up 3 points. I mean, we would if the game just ended. Come on, show me that final whistle. Hull. He just lost the ball. He had 3 players around him. Come on. Far is knackered. I don't know why he's so far forward. He's not on an attack duty either. And you can just kind of sense maybe a second goal. Very close. Very, very close. And it should be the final whistle now. I was thinking that final highlight was just worthless. Just give us the final whistle because it's 3-1. It's done. It's almost like a not quite a changing of the guard. That's if we win the title 2 years in a row, I think. Personally, just winning it once, you could just argue it's a fluke, but well, we've just been better than TNS this season. This is the 3rd time we're facing them, and this will be the 3rd victory against them. I absolutely love that. I was saying at the beginning of the season, TNS are the best team in the Welsh League system. We weren't going to beat them, and we go and just beat them 3 times over. I absolutely love it. Alright, very happy with that. Not going to say it was a let-off. 2 achievements as well. Top form and you're on fire. What are those ones? You won 10 consecutive competitive matches and your team went 30 matches unbeaten. Boom. That is how we like it. Right, 25 games in. We are 13 points clear. I'll deal with Algebra 3 in a moment. And I think we're on the verge of securing the league title. We've secured the Europa Conference League. So top 2 guaranteed. 13 points ahead, 7 games to go. I think we need another 2 or 3 victories. So 2 or 3 games. That means we will be back for probably Bala or Flint Town. Ironically, we could win it against Flint Town. We'll probably be back somewhere in March, depending on how TNS do as well and how we do in the next couple of games. But we will be back, hopefully, to seal the title in the next episode. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode coming out on Monday. Hopefully sealing the Welsh Premier League title and our first foray into Europe. If it's the Champions League, ooh, that Champions League money that could be coming in. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the support on the series so far. Look after yourselves this weekend and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.